All right. Welcome, guys. This is our very first deck tech, and it's pretty exciting. We're basing this off of our latest Magic the Gathering episode with Anje. It was our archenemy game, right? Yeah, it was Anje and Kaalia versus Jhoira, and it was a pretty cool thing. I mean, it's looking on the bright side. I mean, snow is starting to melt. I mean, it's getting exciting. The temperatures are starting to rise, and it's only February, so it's the cool part. So, yeah, we hope you like these deck tech videos, and I know we got a lot of requests from you guys. So, yeah.
So we did have a lot of requests for these deck techs. So we thought we'd oblige by making these videos for you guys. These are the key components that we have in our decks that we're gonna share with you guys today. And it's a great place to start when making your decks. But we think that you can use these as kind of a frame of reference. You can take these beginnings and turn them into your type of decks that you want to make with your own personal touch and your own flair.
And on that note, today's sponsor is a basket full of fake fruit.
Yeah, why have real fruit when they just spoil, cause fruit flies, and no one ever eats it anyway? So just a basket of fake fruit, and it looks pretty and lasts forever.
Thank you, think of fake fruit.
Yeah. Put the fake fruit on the table, go to the fridge, get the candy.
Yeah, there you go.
Candy's always the best.
See, that is why we are not a child-friendly content. So, without further ado, I guess I'll start us off with Kaalia of the Vast. So, this episode I played Kaalia of the Vast. In my strategy, well, it's pretty straightforward. I cast Kaalia, and then when I get attack triggers, I can play a demon, angel, or dragon from my hand tapped onto the battlefield and attacking. Not only does it negate the cost, but also makes it have haste and attack as well. So it's pretty cool. It's unfortunate if whoever's got the defending player, but and then with my win con, it's just swing with a lot of demons, dragons, and angels and do a lot of damage. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. So with these kind of videos, we start us off with 5 different aspects that we incorporate in our decks to make sure that they run well. And we'll list 3 cards per aspect to give you an idea, at least 3, to give you an idea what to expect and how to build. So to start us off, we have Land Ramp. I use Knight of the White Orchid, Armillary Sphere, and Mardu Banner. And they just all throughout just enable a deck like Mardu to be able to function with no green, so it's pretty nice. The next topic is card draw, and I have Cathartic Reunion, Harvester of Souls, and Phyrexian Arena, which you all may have seen. Quin and I both got a use out of that in this last episode, so that's pretty cool. Harvester of Souls is nice because I can drop it on the battlefield with Kaalia, and it works as a way to get cards in my hand, so it's pretty neat. And then you guys were very well aware I had lots and lots of removal and protection for my deck. I was able to stop Quin's Jhoira deck and keep Jimmy alive as he was able to support me as well, and it was a nice thing. And just to name a key 3 staples here are board wipes such as Merciless Eviction, Angel of Serenity, and a removal like Mortify. So they all work pretty well. Key components of this deck. Honestly, lots of demons, lots of dragons, lots of angels. That's what's going to make this deck run. So I use like Balefire Dragon, Baneslayer Angel, Lord of the Void, and of course, in order to get those all out, you need some way to protect Kaalia, and if you can give her haste, even better, so why not use Lightning Greaves? Some fun other things that I include in this deck is there's a mana rock for 4 that you pay 8, tap it to draw 4 cards called Tower of Fortunes. Not a lot of people have even heard of the card, but for 8 mana, you get 4 things. So in regards, it's about 2 mana to get those cards out there or into your hand. Also, I love Bruna the Fading Light and Gisela, 2 angels that combine to create Brizella, Voice of Nightmares. And I also love Hyena Umbra, common card, or maybe it's uncommon, that gives Totem Armor. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's my Kaalia of the Vast. It's pretty fun to use.
Yeah, can never have too much removal.
Nope.
And I learned that the hard way.
That's for sure. But yeah, Jimmy, you want to take us away with Anje?
Sure, yeah. Next we have Anje Falconwreath. Some people say Anje. I don't know. I call her Angie because it's fun. Anyway, the strategy is to utilize the Madness ability and discard abilities through the deck. So she's got her, ability to tap, discard a card of its Madness card, draw a card, untap her. And that's kind of how you win. So basically, you're going to utilize the discarded creatures. They're going to be put in your graveyard. That you're going to amass a large graveyard, and then you're going to try to switch your grave with the battlefield. And you can do that with cards like Living Death, Grimoire of the Dead, Shadow of the Grave. They're really good. You get to utilize your entire graveyard, and hopefully your enemies are going to be out of luck there. With land and ramp, a common staple that I always have is Soul Ring. I try to put a Soul Ring in every single one of my decks if I can. You got your Solemn Simulacrum, and Bone Miser is great, especially with the utility with all the different types of discarding cards I'm going to be using. One of them is discard a land card to get more mana, and so you're going to try to utilize that as much as possible. Card draw, there isn't a whole lot apart from Angie's tap ability, because every time you tap and discard a Madness card, you're going to want to be using the Madness card and getting your card draw off of it. So a lot of that is strictly off her, but there are other cards, discard a card, draw a card, that sort of deal really works out well with Madness. With the removal and protection, we have Ingaruk's Wake, Terminate, Dark Withering, and Chaos Warp. Ingaruk's Wake is great because although it is expensive, it can really turn the tide of a battle, especially when you get to keep all your stuff and everybody loses everything. That usually spells game over for everyone else. Chaos Warp I like because you can utilize it for yourself, but also with the enemy, but also you can utilize it for yourself if you're desperate, you need to get that random top card for free. You can always use Chaos Warp for that. Some key pieces we have are basically all the Madness cards. You want to try to get as much utility out of them as possible with like your Archfiend of Spite and Big Game Hunter. You want to be able to get your creature, but also do something as it enters, kind of surprise them with the Madness because you can cast it at any time.
Mad Madness deck.
Exactly. Yeah. And you also have your Chain or Nightmare Adept. You can try to get as many cards as you can from your graveyard because there's going to be a large graveyard to choose from. Some other fun cards that I like to put in there. Villa's Broker of Blood. He's just a big demon. He does, pay life, neg1 counters. It's a lot of fun. You get your Crick, Son of Yawgmoth, and from under the floorboards, you kind of swarm the board with zombies. So that's always fun as well, especially with the Madness cost in there too.
It's very maddening.
It is.
Very
Going up against
maddening.
the
Mad,
deck.
bro.
I was a little bit, not gonna lie.
That was quite a night, that game. That was one of our greatest, probably one of our best episodes. So if you guys haven't seen it and you're watching this deck tech video, what are you waiting for? Go check out.
What you doing?
Yeah, just go check out that episode. Yeah. No.
All right, I guess I'll finish her off with the arch enemy, me, and I was playing the Jhoira deck. So the strategy of this deck is basically put big creatures into suspend, wipe the board with a lot of board wipes, and just swing because when they come onto suspend, they have haste and take extra turns to kind of lock my opponents out of the game. So that's basically how I win, is I wipe the board and swing with my creatures, and hopefully in a turn or two following that, I could just wipe my opponents off the face of the earth. So in this color scheme, there's not a whole lot of ramp, as you can see. But two cards I want to mention is Soul Ring and Hedron Archive. Kind of like what Jimmy was saying, I try to put Soul Ring in each one of my decks if I can. And Hedron Archive kind of acts as dual purpose as tapping for mana and the card draw, which in the video I believe I used. I ended up cracking it. For removal, I don't really have like a whole lot of spot removal like Cory does, like the Mortify and all that stuff, but it's mass board wipe, like Apocalypse, Decree of Annihilation, and Obliterate. The Apocalypse and the Decree of Annihilation kind of exile everything, even from your hands. The Decree of Annihilation does, and Apocalypse just removes everything from the game. And Obliterate can't be countered, which is a good plus when you're going up against blue and other counter decks, is it can't be countered. And I almost forgot about card draw, which card draw was important in that game as well. So I have Brainstorm, Preordain, and Opt, kind of like your standard blue cantrips, one mana drop cantrips to dig deeper for those big creatures. The key pieces for this deck, I want to go out and say counters are the first one, because I countered Jimmy's Warstorm Surge, and I think that kind of put me in a good spot, because
Yeah.
Every time War Storm Surge, it would have been pinging me for a lot of damage. And also, what maybe you guys don't realize is when you're playing by yourself and you're playing against two different people, it's really hard to choose what you want to counter and what you don't want to counter, because like I wanted to counter Cory's Primeval Glorious Rebirth that he brought back all of his legendary creatures from his graveyard, and I think Sorin, but I didn't think that was the threat at the time because they didn't have haste. So I was like, all right, I'll let that resolve and see if a bigger threat would arise. And Jimmy's Warstorm Surge definitely was that threat that I needed to take care of. So, I mean, counters are a big part of that deck. The Eldrazi, I have all the Titans in there, both the Yulimogs, Emrakul, Blightsteel Colossus with the one-hit kill with the Trample. In fact, I mean, you saw the cards that I was going with when I was hard casting it, and I was kind of in desperate mode for that, and removing counters off of suspended cards, like I have Time Crafting and Fury Charm that removes counters so I can get those cards out quicker. And the fun card that I kind of brought in was Ugin the Ineffable. It's the only Planeswalker that I have in the deck, and you saw me use it in the video where I destroyed one of Cory's creatures with his -3 ability. So it's another kind of form of removal and kind of controlling the game. But yeah. So that's basically the gist of Jhoira deck and kind of what it all entails. So.
Yeah, and it proved its worth. I mean, it held on, fought against both Jimmy and I when we were partners and stuff.
Not many decks can do that.
Not many can, and Quin was able to secure that victory after a long fought battle, so it was pretty cool.
When punch for punch, like, I think it was just so hard.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, guys, this is our first deck tech video. Let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments, and we're excited to do more of these. So you can expect these to follow every here on out. Every comandertax episode that we do, we'll follow up with a deck tech video to give you an idea of the decks that we play. You know, key components. If you want to build it yourself, there you go. You know exactly the 5 different aspects that we really want to have you incorporate and stuff too, because it's what makes the engine go and stuff too. But at the same time, we don't want to just give you all 100 cards, because most of the fun with creating decks is creating them yourself, not just copying and pasting. And once you finally get to unveil that really cool deck that you spent countless hours and thought and time just trying to, perfect, and then you see it work, it's just like, holy moly. So it's pretty cool. So
yeah, when you put all the cards in yourself, you really get a feel for how it works, and different little things that you might not get if you just copy and paste a deck list from a website.
And then you'll know how to pilot it. That's kind of how I felt with this deck, because I spent like a long time trying to refine it, and you guys saw the final result in the last video. So there we have it.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Let us know what you think, and
don't
please
be afraid to smash that like button.
Subscribe to the channel.
Ring that bell for notifications.
And see you next time.